So who would you suggest should be concerned about this phenomenon, the U-turn moment, the Western universalism and the digestion?
Okay, the Westerner who's going into this journey needs to know what he'll have to give up at some stage in order to really go all the way. And gurus don't want to tell them that, because gurus want lots of easy converts, easy disciples, without giving them a full disclosure saying that you go into yoga at some point in time, the ideas of yoga and the practice of yoga are going to collide with, for instance, the Nicene Creed in Christianity, which talks about original sin and very historical things.
So you're then assuming that most Western civilizational accomplishment and thought is predicated on a Christian,
not necessarily,
Judeo-Christian ethic?
Judeo-Christian, and then the Enlightenment movement starting with Hegel continues a Western chauvinism and a Western exclusive idea of historical
so
superiority.
then the rationalistic trend of the Enlightenment philosophers
has
actually,
the same problem.
All right, it results in the same kind of phenomenon of
Yes.
That superiority.
Yes.
That's a very interesting kind of approach. So if that's the kind of the thrust of the Western movement, what would you say is approaching it to as the antagonist from the Indian side in being different?
Well, the Indians have bought into this Western universalism. The gurus have started translating Sanskrit words into English even when that distorts. For example, they've started replacing Atman with soul, even though soul does not reincarnate and soul does not exist in animals or plants, and Atman does. So even though the meaning of soul is not the same as Atman, you kind of distort the meaning of Atman when you replace it with soul. It's popular to do that. It's easy to do that. It's kind of an easy way out.
All right. So you're suggesting that they do that in order to establish that
the gurus are helping us get digested.
All right, that's
a
very
lot of
interesting.
digestion is because the gurus compromise, Deepak Chopra type people compromise. So it dilutes the tradition into digestibility. So it takes something which may not be digestible, which has its own legitimacy, which demands being respected as itself, and it brings it down like the enzymes in the stomach to a reduced form, so it's easy to digest, and that's good for the person who's facilitating. He can make a good business out of that. So I think the gurus are into this, and as far as Indian intellectuals are concerned, they are so anglicized in their education. All the universities in India, they're teaching Western philosophy in the philosophy departments, Western anthropology models being applied now by Indians, the Western models of history and sociology being applied. So in the humanities, the Western universalism has sort of become entrenched, and I call that mental colonization. So so I would say the resistance does not exist, and I am trying to create that resistance.